Hello, welcome back to the channel. Erd here. Same shirt, another video, same day, 2 videos in a day. Sometimes I surprise myself as to how much energy I have to be able to record a video before work and after work. Anyway, welcome back to the channel. Erd here. I buy, sell, trade, collect, vend. To be honest with you, I don't really know if I'm going to upload this video. So, there's my disclaimer. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Interesting video for you all today, and this is a response video. I'm answering a question. I got a message on Instagram, I think it's today, maybe yesterday, related to hollowness and emptiness in the hobby. And I'm paraphrasing, but I'll plop up the DM here. Have you ever felt like sometimes the hobby can be hollow or empty when it comes to YouTube and Instagram? Blah, 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 you know, in short. Short answer is yes. I honestly feel like that all the time. And it primarily is because the less I engage with people and the more content I consume, the more I feel this way. And let me just, before I get into that, let's just start with the story. I have a pretty good, I would say, circle of friends. One circle came from, I would say, YouTube land, sellers on YouTube who I've become good friends with, people who I watch content, I've kind of joined their communities, I engage with them, and for that group of people, I think I spent a lot of time really being a fan of the content. And through being a fan of the content and engaging with these people and learning through them, I became kind of closer contacts and more familiar with who they are. They themselves, me, they with me. So I invested a lot of time in like being a true fan and like a real consumer, right? And this is work. This is effort. This is like genuinely wanting to take part in someone else's, dare I say it, community. Investing your time in them so that they will eventually invest in you as someone who's kind of part of their community and watches their content. Many people don't do that, right? And anyway, I'll get into all that in a sec. My second group of friends, I would say, is through vending. Selling and vending and going to shows. So not just vending. People I've met in the greater Bay Area through being a vendor, going to shows, buying, selling, meeting friends of friends, doing deals with friends, deals with people, just the general network of people I've met through local shows and being a physical body at these shows, actually going out and meeting people and doing deals and being a part of this local area. I would say, every time I get to go to a show, bless my wife, she gives me a lot of freedom when it comes to like pursuing my hobby. Without her, I obviously wouldn't be able to do a lot of what I do. But anytime I go to shows and like it aligns well with family time, or it aligns well where I'm not eating at a family time. I enjoy it. I thoroughly love it. I love going to shows. Every single time I wake up on that morning, I get excited. I'm texting my friend Rob, red or blue. Hey man, can we see? Like, it's just like it's a fun thing that I like doing, and it all came from the basis of first me being a buyer and then me being a seller. The third group of friends, which I would say is my longest standing group of friends, came from many years ago. I'm smiling and smirking because it's a funny story. I met a group of friends through joining a paid Discord in Pokemon. And this paid community ended up being a big sham. Like, the person who ran it was kind of a scam artist type of guy. Didn't really take care of the members. At the end of the day, a lot of the members basically ran the Discord. And then it became very clear that, like, hey, this person who's running is just here to milk us for our money. My longest standing group of friends comes from a contingency of people who left that community. So we met in that paid Discord, and then we bounced and we made our own Discord. And that's like my longest group of friends still to this day. This is where I go. I share stuff with them. They share stuff with me. I help them out. They help me out. And just people, and a handful of them I've met in person. So it's not like they're just online friends, right? But they are people I have mutual connection with, mutual interest in the hobby with, and we share a lot of things from like, it's not investing necessarily. It's like polls, debating on the latest sets, deals, how's the market doing, dumb things, just like normal things that you would expect people who love the IP would engage in, right? So those are my three groups of like, I guess, those are my three outlets. And I highlight them because anytime I think when I don't feel fulfilled in the hobby, it's because I'm not really making use of or getting the most out of any of those like network of friends, network of people. And I think that's the key in this hobby with Pokemon, because the game was made for people to play, and most people don't play the game, right? Most people don't go to a card shop. I can't even tell you the last time I went to an actual card shop. It must have been like sometime last year, right? And it's not because I don't want to. Like, I grew up going to card shops. It's more so like I just don't have the capacity to. I don't have the time. And this game is meant to be played. It's not meant to be hoarded and invested in, purely just collect. Like, there's a lot of interactive elements to the game that most people don't actually take advantage of. And so if your entire entry point into the hobby, let's say you're one of these like investor bros coming in, or let's say you're one of these like people off of Reddit, whatever, right? If you only have this digital identity that is not even about like direct communication with people, it's just like comment sections and watching videos, YouTube, that kind of thing, I can understand how on some days you're gonna feel very disconnected from people. YouTube in itself, you're watching this content and yay, I have people agreeing with me. To be honest, you're probably agreeing with me because we're like-minded, and the algorithm is just going to further feed my channel, my content, to people who they think could like my videos, so based on mutual interests, or people that they are just randomly trying to get to see if they like my videos, right? And the abundant amount of people over time are gonna be people who actually like what I'm saying, the content that I'm saying, the things that I'm making, right? That's gonna apply to like most YouTube channels. And so that's my long way of explaining, like, this is kind of an echo chamber. And when you're in an echo chamber, and even if it's your interests, over time, what happens is, like, some of the ideologies, some of the content ideas, some of the topics, they get kind of saturated. You're hearing the same thing, you're not learning anything new, you're in a position where it's like, oh, this is, okay, cool, that makes sense. But you're not really feeling a connection because you're not challenged, and you're not actually having a social, there's not actual this social communication, the social interaction with people. It's just consuming. I made a video, I don't even know when I made this video. It was a ranty video about how, like, more people need to create content, go to a show, create an experience, sell to people, like, go do and stop consuming. Because the more you consume, the more it's a one-way door of communication where you're just going to be bombarded with feelings, thoughts, ideas. I gotta figure out where am I going? I gotta go that way. I can't even get over. It's a one-way door. So you're getting bombarded. Investment news, what to buy, market updates, newest releases, like all this stuff is being thrown at you. It's like you're being pelted with pellets and stones, right? And you're not able to breathe. Like, it's just so overwhelming at times. And I can't stress enough how important it is to, like, actually be a part of, I'll say it again, a community, a real community, whether that's local, that's online, that's whatever it is, right? Because if you don't have that, the challenge that you're going to face is that everything that is talked about is coming at you, and you don't have a way to express yourself, to engage with other people, to be able to explain your perspective. You're just hearing what everyone else is saying. And you can start by doing, I guess Discord's probably the best online way of connecting. But even going to shows, right? Being a buyer, introducing yourself, meeting other collectors, those are all valuable parts of the hobby and experiences that, admittedly, I don't think a lot of people take seriously because they don't have the time or they don't think it's important. And I think there are a lot of new age fans these days who are purely digital. You buy product online, you never go to a store, you never go to a card store, you never go to a card show, you never go to any Pokemon event, you don't meet people in real life until you occasionally find someone who maybe sort of collects, and you share an oh my god moment, you collect cards too, and then you never talk to them again, right? I think a lot of people still just consume as much as they can online, and there's actually nothing wrong with that, right? But if you don't have interaction, and your interaction is only just like comment sections, then what happens is, again, you're just getting pelted all day with all these different impulses, all this different information that doesn't give you time to breathe, doesn't give you time to react. So, do I experience hollowness or emptiness in the hobby? Sometimes I do. Yeah, definitely. But then I go to a show and I'm excited. I'm reinvigorated. Then I hop into the Discord of my friends that we've had for many years. So one of the guys, Josh, he hadn't been around for like a year or two. All of a sudden he started like asking a daily question and people started responding. I haven't responded to a couple, but like, it's like, oh, that's nice. Like we never really did that before and no one's really engaging, right? Like in the last couple of days, like that stuff adds up. It has meaning and gives me some level of fulfillment, even as small, and you might think it's like dumb, but like for me, it works out. It's what I need to further feel connected. Like when a set gets releases and I think it's bogus, I'll post on like IG and then I'll also go in the Discord and people are going to be like, yeah, that's, oh my God, you're dumb. Like that's great. That exchange is what's needed as much as possible. And, you could build a social following. You could build like a presence. That's definitely one way of getting around it. But a lot of my social network now is built on the fact that I had friends through YouTube, and then I went to shows and vended, right? And so, the purpose of social media, I think, isn't necessarily just to make a bunch of friends. You want to make connections with people that you know, and the connections with people that you actually have interest in. And the hobby is so big and vast and wide that, like, if you're not specific with why you would log on to like Instagram and who you're going to engage with, you're just going to doom scroll. Doom scrolling is when you just keep swiping and swiping and swiping. So what I would recommend is figure out what excites you. And I don't know this person. I've never talked to this person before, but thank you for reaching out and sending me this message, because I do think that this is the type of thing that isn't talked about a lot. I would recommend spend less time online. Watch less YouTube. If you're watching YouTube, watch less of the content that you're watching today. Try other forms. I imagine if you're watching market content, investment content, there's no better way to feel empty and hollow, because it's all the same thing over and over again. Even my channel, even your favorite channels, it's all the same thing. It incites FOMO, gets people excited, gets people to spend, gets people thinking about questioning their decisions. It's not, a lot of the time that content is not really there to, I don't know, fulfill you socially. It's just there to get you riled up. In a good way, bad way, doesn't matter. But there's not really that much any more depth than that, right? So I would limit the consumption as much as you can and go out, go do something, go to a local show. Sounds corny. Go to a card show, learn how to play the game, go finish a master set, make a master set binder, decide which set, go to a show and finish it. I wish I had the time, because I used to try to do master sets and they all just like are hodgepodge sets now with like random, I did like Shiny Star V, Japanese Shiny Fates. I tried to get all the reverse hollows, and at the time I didn't realize that sourcing Japanese reverse hollows is actually quite difficult if you're trying to complete a set, because like a lot of places don't have them, especially if you're looking in Japan. So I've done that kind of challenge exercise before, and it was fun. It just took time, but I can see how, like, if you're trying to do it today, go to a store, go to a show. I just watched Jar Chomp's Collectibles. He's vending, and he finished, I think, Gym Heroes. I think he was looking for like a Erica's Bulbasaur or something like that, or Oddish or something like that. That's awesome, right? Like, giving yourself purpose when you step outside to go enjoy the hobby. And purpose, I think this is where we hit this topic straight in the head. If you're trying to make money and you're not really approaching, if you're an investor and you're not really like a collector investor, someone who's trying to collect and invest for the long term, you're going to get burnt out so quick, because there's not that much to love in the hobby at that point. And some of the biggest, I would say, gains or growth opportunities I had was through collecting things that were, had a price tag, a decent price tag to them, but they were things that I genuinely enjoyed and things that I actually wanted to keep. I'll use an example. Hindsight's 2020, but mid-era cards. So mid-era in my mind is EX era, so Fire Red, Leaf Green, and onward. And then I don't know if this is mid-era, but I'll just say it's mid-era. Going up to X and Y, right? That's probably a stretch. Someone's going to crucify me in the comments. Oh my God, you don't know what you're talking about. That's not X. My point is, like, that era, EX to X and Y. Up until this year, this is how recent this trend is, right? Up until this year, all of those cards in a PSA 10, actually, the mid-era or the EX cards are still undervalued, or still at a low price. But X and Y especially, black and white especially, they did not move. They were basically stagnant, if not losing money. You ask anyone in the space who collects Japanese stuff, I had a theory that they would go up. I also love the cards, right? And the mystique to me is like, oh, the gem rate's higher in Japanese, like print quality's better, and I can find this more abundantly. I see it all over Japan. I can get the Lugia from Plasma Gale, which is Plasma Storm. Like, a lot of these cards, and I still have the Blastoise from Plasma Storm, Japanese. I had the unlimited version of the Charizard from Plasma Storm in Japanese. I sold it to my friend, to one of my friends, Roy. But these are cards that, like, yeah, they were in like low 3 figures. Charizard was like pushing close to 3,000. Blastoise was in the higher 3 figures. But most of the other cards, right, very cheap. I'm talking about like $250 Raikou from Next Destinies. Is it Next Destinies in English? The Japanese version of Next Destinies. You know what I'm talking about. The full art card. The Entei, the Darkrai. Like, a lot of these cards that, in hindsight, nowadays, many of them are pumping. They're doing well. Gengar from Japanese Phantom Forces, the one that I sold at that show 2 weeks ago for $2,500 trade in cash. It was a sub $900 card for years. Years. And even at that price, it felt very expensive. Like, why would you buy this? Why would you buy this? This doesn't feel like a good buy. It's Japanese. Japanese, everyone knows Japanese vintage does not appreciate as much as English. Like, it's not really desirable. Base set charts are in Japanese, right? When I wanted to buy it a month ago, I don't know what the price is today. It was going for $4,000. And it was at that $3,000 to $4,000 range for years. So I bring up all this stuff, these cards, because if you really like this stuff, you're like a collector investor or just collector, right? The excitement and passion that you have for a lot of these things that you're buying, that will make you feel connected to people. You will find people who share the same interests. I will give you an example. I mentioned Leo, Hater TCG. I've never met Leo in my life, but when I was making random videos in mail days last year and posting, I try to post 100 days on Instagram of like all my Japanese stuff every single day. I just like see this guy on his channel. I'm like, this guy literally is the same version of me, except not Asian, obviously. He posts black and white, X and Y, unlimited, all this like level X, Diamond Pearl, like all this stuff. And that's all he talks about. That's all he posts. Like, what a match made in heaven. Still, I've never met him, but we're friends, right? But that's like, that was how a friendship was made. And it's not going to happen because I'm an investor. I bought Twilight. I bought it $200. It's a hollow world out there when that's how you approach the hobby. And you don't even know what you care about. If you only care about money, right? You're only going to find people who care about money, And, truth be told, I'm in a lot of different Discords. Some of them are investment heavy. And I will be honest, the investment first Discords are some of the worst Discords I've been in. Primarily because most of the people, not all, most of the people that are there, and when the purpose is to make money, people don't talk about artworks or unlimited versus first edition Japanese cards, or why is vintage undervalued, or the list can go on and on and on. People don't talk about that. All they talk about is, man, Distant Rivals hit 240. Fellas, are we buying this? And then there's emojis. And then emojis. And this thing. And that thing. And like, I'll say this again, and I've said this multiple times. The idea of investing in Pokemon should always be a smaller part of what you do in the hobby at large. By smaller, I mean less than 50%. It doesn't have to be like 5%, right? But if it's the main driver, and if you're always trying to look to make money, like you're a constant flipper, and that's all you care about, man, you're going to get burnt out. You're going to feel hollow. You're going to feel empty. You're not going to have connection with people because, like, what's there to even connect about? I'm not saying, though, this is not the stuff that my friends and I talk about. How to make money, how to flip, how to invest. Like, we, of course, talk about that, right? But the genesis of the relationship and the connection with them and with people is not that. That's just a part of it. So, where do we go from here? I thank you for reaching out. I'm not sure if this is a question for yourself or someone else. It doesn't really get talked about a lot. At the end of the day, you have to really figure out why you like this brand so much. For me, I grew up playing the games. I leveled Blastoise in Pokemon Blue by hand to level 100. It wasn't the worst experience, but I remember it just took me, like, there's a point where it took like 2 or 3 runs, I think, of Elite Four just to get a level. I didn't do the rare candy trick. I thought something was gonna happen because I did it by hand, but nothing happened. I played the card game when I was in middle school. I dabbled a bit in high school, college, as a young adult, buying packs here and there. Not much, to be honest, not seriously. I played the games again as they were released on 3DS, or I guess DS, 3DS. I played Y, Ultra Sun, Sword and Shield. I played Scarlet and Violet, but I stopped because the graphics are so bad. I actually might pick that up again with Switch 2. We'll see. I'm really excited for that. That game has a lot of potential. It's just like the performance is so bad. But I will say my most favorite experience of the IP when Gold and Silver were coming out, the anticipation to play Gold and Silver as the sequel to Red and Blue, that is probably the most hyped and excited I had been as a kid, as an adult, whatever. Because we had hit the top. I didn't know anything better. But we hit the top with Blue. It was amazing. And then we get a sequel. And then if you haven't played Gold and Silver and Crystal, hopefully it's not a spoiler. When you beat the game, you can then go play all of Red and Blue in the game. So you go back to Kanto. Anyway, it was like a mind-blowing experience that I'll never forget. But hopefully as I explain this, it's like, I give a damn. I actually am interested. I am intrigued. You know, albeit a lot of the stuff they release these days is kind of weird. Like, there's a ice cream cone Pokemon. What? There's a Pokemon that looks like a, whoops, drop my sunglasses. That looks like a semi-truck? Like a car engine or something like that? There's a Pokemon that is a garbage bag, Trubbish, if you know, you know. Or a garbage pile, Garbodor. You know, it's just like, some of the stuff they do is kind of weird. But that's the character of the game, the hobby, the IP. There's things you like, there's things you don't like. You banter, you complain, you like this, you like that. You call your friends silly or goofballs because there's certain things that they like you don't like. You know, it's just like, you gotta find the ability, you gotta have the ability to connect people based on those differences and common interests. So, look, if you're feeling hollow, change up the routine. Change up what you are involved in, who you watch, what you do, go to a show, learn the game, whatever. I don't think by doing what you're still doing today and continuing it, it's going to change. The feeling you get is going to change. It'll probably come back in another way, in another lifetime. I don't know. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. What a video, huh? That's all I got for you today. Let me know what you think about the video. Hopefully this resonated. I don't know. I think that's it. Thanks for the support. I appreciate it more than you know. And let me know your thoughts below. Catch you guys later. Peace.